Collection types. So what is a collection? A collection is a data structure that stores values that have the same type, or it can also store objects that share common attributes. Okay, so in the example 1, we store values inside of that collection. Okay, and the values that we store here are even numbers, such as 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so this collection stores 4 numbers, 4 even numbers. And then in the example number 2, we are storing objects, which are pets, animals, such as a dog, a cat, a bird, and a fish. So in the example 2, we store 4 objects, okay, or 4 items within that collection. And what is a collection used for? So collections give they give a programmer the flexibility required to work with large amount of data. Now, it does not have to be a large amount of data, but usually as soon as you want to work with large amount of data, then you want to use a data structure such as a collection. And here in the example, we have the Facebook list of users. Now imagine Facebook, there's hundreds of millions of users. So let's say they want to update the policy to all those users, then you need to find some kind of a way to access all those users, right? And this is called a collection of users or a collection of items, okay? So here, that's a little hint. Think of a collection as a variable that can hold more than one piece of information, okay? And collection items can easily be added, removed, or modified. So in Swift, there's 2 different kinds of collection types. You have the array and the dictionary. So let's take a look at the array. What's an array? An array, it's a collection that stores values in the order they are inserted in. Okay, so let's look at the example here. Var beverages. So we store strings and we have water, then milk, then juice, then soda. Okay, so this beverages collection array stores 4 items here: water, milk, juice, and soda. Now, if we want to access these, we access them using the index. Okay, so as you can see in the printlns, we have beverages at in the bracket 0, beverages 1, 2, and 3. So as you can see, this would print water, then beverage 1 would print milk, and beverages 2 would print juice, and beverage 3 would print out soda. And as you can see here, as a note, the first index starts at 0. So why is the water at index 0? Is because it's the first one that got inserted, okay? If somehow we added coffee first, then it would print coffee, okay? If we added juice first, it would print juice first. All right. Next, you probably want to add more items later on. You can do beverages dot append, and you put coffee, or dot append juice, or apple juice, or pomegranate juice, okay? And another way to do it would be beverages plus equal, and then hot chocolate inside of brackets, okay? This is another way of doing it. Both ways work the exact same way. It appends it to the end of the array, and if you want to access it, you have to use the last index, okay? Now, here is another way to insert them, but here, instead of inserting them at the end, you can specify where exactly you want to insert them. So beverages dot insert, and we're going to insert the t at index 0. So this t variable comes at index 0, so at the very beginning, okay? So all the items that were there, such as the water, milk, juice, and soda, all these items have been shifted to the right. So now water is not at index 0. Water will be at index 1. Milk will be at index 2. Juice will be at index 3. And soda will be at index 4. Okay? And index 0 is T. Okay? All right. And now sometimes you want to remove items. So there's many ways. You can do beverages dot remove at index. And you put which index. That will be 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Okay? And you can remove the last item by doing beverages dot remove last, and then you can remove all the items and make the array empty by doing beverages dot remove all. And by the way, keep capacity. Don't worry about this. It's a way to handle memory, but just know that if you put false, it would shrink the size in memory. Okay. Now, some miscellaneous operation that you probably want to know is that if you want to check if an array has a variable or not, if it's empty or not, you can do beverages.isEmpty, and it returns true or false, okay, which is a boolean. Then you can check how many items you have there by doing beverages.count, okay, and that would give you the total number of beverages within this array. And then if you want, you can iterate through each item by doing a for loop for beverage in beverages, and you can println the beverage, and that would do tea, water, milk, juice, soda, coffee, and hot chocolate. All right, and that's all for the arrays. Now, obviously, it looks easy, but trust me, you need to practice this. Okay, so look at the lectures where you get to practice this, or you can write these yourself in Xcode. Now, let's take a look at the other type of collection. This is a dictionary. Now, what's a dictionary? It's a collection of objects where each values are accessed using a unique key. Okay, now the difference here between a dictionary and an array is that each value, instead of being referenced by an index such as 0, 1, 2, 3, it's referenced by a key, and that key, you're the one that defines what that key is. So let's take a look here at the example. So you have a key and a value. var area codes, a string has a key such as FL, and the value is Florida. Then the key is NY, and the value is New York. Then the key is CA, and the value is California. Okay, so key value, key value, key value. Okay. Now, if you want to access the dictionary items, you can just do a for loop, just like we did for the arrays, but this time you have to do for key and value. The key here is code, and the value is state. Okay, so for code state in area codes, print code and state. So that would print CA, California, NY, New York, FL, Florida. Now, you can also access dictionary keys by themselves and dictionary values by themselves. If you want to access just the keys, you do for area code in area codes.keys. Okay, so the dot keys is what allows you to access only the keys. And as you can see, it has area code CA, area code NY, and area code FL. Now, if you want to access only the values and you don't have to worry about the keys, you can just do area codes.values. So here in this example, we have for state in area codes.values, print state name state. So that would print state name California, state name New York, and state name Florida. Now, some miscellaneous operations, very similar to the array. You can do area codes.isEmpty to check if there's any value inside or not, and it would say true or false. Okay. Now you can remove values if you want to. You can do area codes dot remove value for key. Now here you have to know the keys. Okay. So FL is the key. You could have put CA for California or NY. Now, if you want to remove all the items, you can do area codes.remove all. And here, keep capacity again, true or false. That's for memory. If you put true, this is going to take more space in memory. And if you put false, it's going to take less space in memory, but it will be slower. Okay, and that's all you need to know for arrays and dictionaries. I personally prefer to use arrays. Arrays are a lot easier to use, and there's really no gain in performance. One or the other depends on the situation. But my take is that you can just go with arrays and your life would be just fine. Okay? Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next lecture.